Musically.
And welcome to Relationship Soup. I'm your host, Lisa Hughes. Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. How y'all doing today? How was your weekend? Is your week off to a great start? Are y'all ready for these holidays? How did y'all last holiday go? I know we kind of talked about it, but how y'all holding up? Y'all good? Well, I hope y'all are good. As always, with every show, I definitely want to thank every single one of y'all for pulling up. So whether you're watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or listen to the replay, I see you, I love you, and I appreciate you. So thank y'all so much. I definitely appreciate y'all. And you know, I'm looking forward to this show. You know, we've kind of visited this topic before, but you know, definitely around the holidays, I just try to keep this stuff in front of us because truly it gets crazy, y'all. Am I lying? It gets kind of rough out here. You know what I mean? Like just emotionally, physically, all of that. Like when it comes to family, all of that, right? All right. So, I mean, you know, that's just what it is. Now, let's see here. Now, what am I missing? Have I done my spiel yet? I ain't done my spiel. So let me go ahead and do my spiel. I see your comments. I'm going to bring it on. Oh, and I got an announcement tonight, y'all. I cannot wait. Okay. All right. Let me get to this spiel right quick. All right. So now y'all already know. You should be liking, following across all platforms. If you're watching this right now, share it. Share it. Tell a friend, right? So now listen. You already know what I'm going to say. On YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period. You got to put the period. If you don't put the period, you're going to be somewhere else. Now listen, I told y'all about them. I've been telling y'all about them greeting cards and stuff. Go to RelationshipSoup.com. We got a cute little Christmas collection. You definitely got to hit it up. All right. So if you want to join the forum, it's RelationshipSoupGroup. All right. If you want to follow me, it's RelationshipSoupLLC. And then let's check it. Now, we are on TikTok, y'all. And I've been posting. Y'all see my post a little bit? I've been posting. I'm getting better. It's somebody that be on me about, man, you need to be posting to TikTok or whatever. So look, we on TikTok and it is Relationship Soup. All right. Now, anyway, so I definitely see your comments. Thank y'all so much for joining me. I do have an announcement. Let me make this announcement first, y'all. I am so excited. Now, as you all know, I mean, you know, you kind of know some of the things that I do. Well, I'm also an author. I have a company called Super Bookshelf, and that is my publishing company for my children's books. So I want to share with you one of my children's books that I have just released. And I want to thank y'all so much for the love too, because so many of y'all have shown me love for this book. Share it. Look, Christmas is coming up, pre-sale information, all that stuff is coming. But here's the book right here. This is Hello Me. And this is my picture book. I'm telling you, I feel like this was put on my heart by the creator. So basically, Hello Me is a picture book. It's an affirmation book. Y'all know how I love affirmations. So this is a picture book with affirmations for children. And, I'm hoping that children are inspired by this, but not only the children, but the adults that support them. I hope that they are inspired by this book as well. May their inner child be nurtured. So anyway, that is my book, Hello Me. And like I said, I will definitely put this information out on how you get the book. I mean, it has a journal in it. Like, it is a chef's kiss, if I don't say so myself. So anyway, I will definitely share all of that information with you. I see your comments. Let me go ahead and bring on a couple of y'all comments so much. Let's see here. Hey, cuz, I'm reading so much. Anyway, hey, cousin, thank you so much for joining me every episode. You don't miss, fam. How you doing? How was Thanksgiving, though? Did you eat good? I hope you ate good. I really hope you ate real good, because yeah, I got my eat on. I did a little something. Looking forward to, this other upcoming holiday. So, how that be. TikTok TikTok do be popping. It do. It really do. TikTok do its thing. I'm still navigating and stuff, and like getting to know how to do all this stuff in there, because I'm just kind of like, another social media platform, right? So anyway, yep. Hey, Soup. All right, so boom. So let's go ahead and get on to this episode, y'all. Yeah, absolutely. Yes, definitely. This is an emotional time of year. I will definitely say that, man. I'll be kind of up and down. So I'm so grateful for my divine connections and my support. I tell you, my close family and friends, I love y'all so much, for real. Like, it be kind of up and down. So I did share the link, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and share this link one more time. If you want to get in this here studio, I'm gonna go ahead and share the link. So if you want to come in the studio with us, feel free to do that. It's some room. We ain't out of room. It's a seat for you if you want to get in here. All right, y'all. So tonight, and I do have a guest that wants to come on and talk as well. So I will be bringing them on in a little bit here. But this episode is Love and Peace During the Holiday. And like I said, the holidays can be a beautiful time, but let's just be honest. Sometimes love and tension, it happens. Sometimes even at the same time, right? So the season can just bring all of that out. Am I lying? I ain't lying. I already know. So whether it's with a significant other, whether it's family, friends, or even with self, because sometimes it be self. Sometimes it don't even be those, external people. It be yourself, right? So in this episode, we're going to explore just healthier ways to communicate. We're going to look at just reconnecting, staying grounded, even when emotions run high. Because let's just be real, it does happen. It absolutely happens, y'all. So, and there could be a number of reasons, because it ain't even really always about you sometimes, why people be doing the fool or acting up during a holiday. Sometimes it's not even about you. Sometimes it is truly just a buildup. It could be everything from increased demands on time, money, energy, because people coming out of pocket right now, especially if you have kids and you celebrate Christmas and stuff, y'all getting ready for, Christmas. And then there's triggers that just happen at family gatherings. Am I lying? Am I lying about, hey, it's certain topics you got to stay away from, right? And then let's just be real, social media, for the people out there that ain't married and booed up and was not successful during cuffing season, you seeing all the pajamas, the matching pajamas, right? All these expectations, all these beautiful, and I don't even hate on it, right? I don't even hate on it, because somebody got one at this love thing. I'm just saying, somebody got one at it. And at the same time, it can create a pressure there, or it could be a reminder of things, especially if you are single out here and you want to be in a relationship, you want to be booed up, like you really want it to be cuffed for the holiday. And then truthfully, sometimes grief happens. I know for myself, and I was just, I actually mentioned this to a couple people, that grief surfaces at the craziest time. And for me, definitely during the holidays, because it's still pretty fresh for me. And y'all know what my 2023 was. So, it was just like a total change for me with the holidays and stuff like that. So, the thing is, I mean, Stress plus expectation, all that stuff, you got all this stressing going on, these expectations, that can make you pretty vulnerable, right? And so when that happens, you just got to have grace with self. You should consider compassion, right? That's so important. And hold on, y'all. Let me talk about something right quick, because I love when I come across positive things. Okay, so listen. Last night I was scrolling social media, and it is this brother. Have y'all seen him? His name is Joshua Threat. I hope I'm saying his name right. Joshua Threat. This brother. This is why I love black men so much. Like, I do not hide how much I love black men. This king, it it was just, did y'all see the video? Somebody comment in the chat if y'all saw the video. But basically what had happened was, he had happened to see this little girl, beautiful little girl. She looked like she was about 6 years old. I think she may have said in the video that she was like 6 years old. And this little girl is walking in the cold by herself, right? No hat. He said she didn't have on no shoes, right? I didn't see him pan down to her shoes or whatever, but she didn't have on no hat, no gloves, and she's in the Midwest. This is a Midwest winter. Okay, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, they were in Michigan, and Michigan is cold like here. It's cold. So anyway, he got out of his car or whatever, and he's looking around like, okay, so is somebody going to be here for this little girl, whatever? And so he was like, he just felt compelled to walk this little girl to school. He walked 10 blocks. 10 blocks. Now, I don't know what it is for school. I ain't got no kids, so I don't really know how schools define when kids should be walking to school. Is 10 blocks normal for a kid to be having to walk to school? So anyway, he walked 10 blocks with this baby, and along the way, this king is upset. He's like, man, who are our parents? And he just going in, right? And you actually see this brother crying. Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, somebody was cutting onions last night, because I'm literally tearing up as well, because you could see his disdain and sadness for this little girl. And what was really alarming for me is did nobody tell this baby about stranger danger? Now, I believe that Joshua is an earth angel, being there for that baby, because we all know what's going on with kids now. Kids are a target. They absolutely are. But this baby is walking with this grown, so no stranger danger, no protection. Like, where is this baby's protection? And it's just really sad. It's sad. I'm glad that this brother was there for that baby. And he even, he made sure she got in, made sure that she got to school. And he even talked to, I believe, one of the teachers and stuff, and like, hey, is this the school she goes to, and stuff like that. And he even went and got this baby a hat and gloves. Oh my goodness. I'm telling y'all, black men, I love y'all. Y'all are a chef's kiss to me. Absolutely. So it's stories like this, to me, that helps with the divisiveness as well, and squashing the stereotype and stuff like that. And just me personally, those that know me, I definitely like to bring stories like that to the forefront, So, love and light to Joshua, love and light to that beautiful little girl. I haven't seen anything on social media about, responses from her parents or anything, which is, hopefully the situation was, hopefully there's an explanation, because I just, that baby out there by herself just really, that did something to my spirit. So anyway, I see a few more of y'all comments. Now I'm going to go ahead and get into the show today. Let's see. Hi, Mark Lee. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate you. I hope that your day is going well. All right, cool. Okay. What's up, Derek? How are you? Yes, mommy is watching. Yes, she is watching, and glad that I went live this week. So, and tell your mama I said hi, and hug your mama for me too, Derek. I appreciate you. All right, now, so let's see here. So, all right, so basically we're going to hit a few areas, okay? Just basically dealing with the holidays when it comes to, self, family, all of that, okay? So let's see here. Let me go ahead and I'll bring on my guest, okay? But before I bring him on, I think it's really important for couples to be on one accord, when it comes to these holidays and to gatherings and stuff like that. Because have y'all ever, been at that gathering and y'all was not on the same page, and it was just a whole fool because you was ready to go or whatever, or maybe there's just there was expectations that just weren't on the same page, whether it was about gifts, whatever. So I think it's really important that couples sit down and discuss stuff. Hey, where are we spending the holidays? Your family, mine, right? What are your expectations, right? How much rest time do you need? That is really key. How much rest time do you need, baby? You need a rest. Let's talk about that, right? Because the truth of the matter is, life don't stop just because the holidays is here, right? You being exhausted doesn't stop. You being overwhelmed don't stop. Like, because it can be a constant. So I think it's important. And if you're blessed to have a partner or whatever, sit down and talk about it, right? How are we going to take the pressure off this holiday, right? So maybe, a person, something you can do is pick your top 3 priorities, for the season. And don't feel bad if something got to fall off. That is okay if it is. And I think that is just so important. Take the pressure off. That's something that my daddy always used to say, "Look, girl, take the pressure off." And, as I'm navigating this thing called life, I'm seeing more and more and more the benefit of taking the pressure off and grace. So even as a couple, do that. Take the pressure off and give each other grace as well. Another thing I think is really important. I'm going to bring my guests on in a minute. Another thing I think is really important is emotional check-ins. I love a check-in. I absolutely love a check-in, so even like my divine connections right now, thank y'all so much for checking in with me. I really appreciate that, but as far as a couple situation, I see your comments. I'm going to bring it on here in a minute. I think asking your partner questions like, what do you need more of this week, right? What's stressing you out right now? How can I support you? How can I love you? Just different things like that, and even though that this is done during the holidays, shoot, let's just be all Gucci about it. Look, it can be done before, during, and after the holidays. This is something that should happen regularly. We're close to the holidays, so this makes a lot of sense. And it's a lot of pressure that usually happens during the holidays. But I'm just telling you, I think it's just really important to have those check-ins with your partner. That's your support, part of your support. And another thing that I think is really important too is if you observe that your partner is irritable, if they're shutting down, or if there's tension, a lot of times you want to problem solve. You're like, oh man, let's figure this out or whatever. But instead of just trying to problem solve, offer grounding instead. That's a gift in itself. Hey, that's an early Christmas gift. Offer grounding instead. Hey, baby, take a breath with me. Let's step outside for a minute. Or just whatever you do, whatever y'all thing is, right? Offer grounding instead of problem solving, because sometimes it don't need to be a problem solve. Sometimes it just needs to be a deep breath, a relax, relate, release. Y'all remember that on Different World? Y'all remember that? I know I'm aging myself. I'm timeless. But I'm just saying, y'all remember when Whitley was like, relax, relate, release? Y'all remember that? I'm just saying, sometimes you got to do that. You absolutely have to do that. So, I think it's just important to stay connected. Like I said, before the holidays, after the holidays, and definitely during. This is another one. If you like touch, what about a 10-second hug before event? Sometimes you gotta hug your bae. Like, look, I know we've got to walk into this thing, and I'm joking, because all holiday gatherings with family and friends are not bad. It's not. Sometimes they are though, right? So a 10-second hug before events. Maybe a 5-minute debrief after gatherings, like, man, can we talk for a minute? Or then just, and also I think gratitude. Gratitude is so important, just even thanking your partner. And then like a gratitude exchange before bed, whatever that looks like. Okay. So let me see. I see y'all comments are coming on. Let me see here. Let me see you. All right, boom. I agree. Most people don't communicate effectively. No, they don't. And that's so important too. Like when Clarence was on last week and, he was talking about that, his assessment, I think it is really important to understand how your partner communicates, right? And communication is everything. It really is. Even the nonverbal, the verbal, all of that. That is so important. All right, so let's see here. Communication is so important. Yes, it is. It is like breathing to me. Right. And you just have to establish what that looks like for your relationship. Because sometimes it's just so mismatched. You be like, man, what in the world? Like, what is this? I remember Uncle used to say, take the pressure. Yes, he did. He did, Cousin Shani. He would say, take the pressure off. Take the pressure off. And, and at first it's just like, oh, man, like I said, as I navigate this life, I'm taking the pressure off, and I don't feel no guilt about it. I don't feel no apologies. I'm gonna take the pressure off, whether it's I'm not gonna do something this week, or I'm not gonna go to that gathering, or I'm not gonna holler at this family member, even this friend or whoever. I'm gonna take the pressure off by whatever means, because my peace of mind, it starts with me. My mental and all that start with me. Check-ins are vital. Yes, they are vital. Absolutely. It is so important to check in with your partner. Like, why wouldn't you want to check in? Right. And there could be a number of reasons. Maybe that wasn't something that a person is used to growing up seeing or whatever. Like in my household, check-ins, yep, that definitely happened. Yeah, I remember Different World. That was a great show. I need to know where I can binge watch that at. Do y'all know? Where can I binge watch that? I'm just saying. Hi, Dimitri. Blessings to you as well. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate you. Yes, Different World is absolutely a classic. It's a classic. There were so many jewels in that show, and I didn't realize how conscious some of them episodes were. I'm like, what? You will never see our primetime TV now could never. You hear me? There were so many conscious lessons in A Different World. I'm telling you, that was a great show. Great show. Communication is one of couples' weakest points. Yeah, it can be. It absolutely can be. And that's for a number of reasons. You just have to sit down with each other. If you care enough, you sit down with each other and you get to the root. You try to figure out that communication and give yourself grace. And I think sometimes when there are differences in a relationship or whatever, the proper grace is not always given. And it's just like, why Sway? You give grace to everybody else and stuff, but sometimes when it comes to your partner, the grace isn't given for differences. It's shunned. And depending on what those differences are, it's shunned. It can cause emotional distance and all this other stuff. So I'm just saying, like, have grace with that. Sit down and talk. Like, sit down and figure it out. And, a discussion doesn't necessarily have to be an argument. Just get down to the root, because, sometimes the flow is being able to sit down and figure out how to get on the same page, and that's okay too. Communication in a relationship is like teaching your significant other how to love you. Absolutely. You teach people how to treat you. You absolutely do. You absolutely treat people how to treat you and how to love you, and so if you're blessed to have a partner that will sit down with you, that will take the time with you and not give up on you, and vice versa, keep that. That is rare. People be like, nah, I don't do this, I'm throwing in a towel. And that's okay. It is what it is. I'm just saying that, sometimes it just takes that little extra bit of effort. That's it. Communication today is shot. People really suck at it. Yeah, communication can definitely be a challenge. Again, it's just about, if you want to be with that person, you like that person enough, you just try to figure it out, and there's different reasons why. And just, even having the understanding and the empathy, you can get to a happy medium with communication. Condeem with, yeah, absolutely. That whole cast to me. What was the one with the curly hair? Cree? Very conscious sister. Absolutely. Different World is on Netflix. Oh, well, I don't have Netflix no more. I call myself trying to, reallocate some things or whatever. So it's on Netflix for real. That's what's up. I'm going to have to check it out. As I drink my cherry tart juice. Do y'all know the health benefits of cherry tart juice? Like, y'all always probably thinking that I be having alcohol in my cup. And a lot of times it really just be like juices and smoothies and healthy stuff, right? But cherry tart juice has so many benefits. Like, why are we talking about taking care of self and all of that, peace and love and all that? Give your body some peace and love and do some cherry tart juice. Like, it's good for sleep, hydration, and even during this time of year. Am I lying? Do y'all be having y'all space heaters on y'all? I do. Like, is y'all heat turned up? That can help you, like, that can dehydrate you a little bit. So, cherry tart juice and some alkaline water, spring water, really good for hydration. Just saying. Probably can binge watch on Bounce and BET. Well, yeah, BET got a subscription too, don't it? Like, I need something free. My subscription budget, because I'm like, man, everything show commercials now anyway. It seems like they all show the same thing. Communication holds the key to, yes, absolutely. Hi, James. Thank you so much for joining me. Yes, it does. Communication is everything. It's absolute. Okay. Communication is very important. It's very important. Need to have those sit downs. Yeah, you do. You do. And those conversations should just be looked at as that. Just like, just kind of like, I don't know, like buffing up your tools or something. I don't know. I don't know. Shining the silverware, because those tools are going to be helpful. Shouldn't be looked at as something negative, or anything like that. Just because you haven't sit down doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong, or you're not doing enough, or you're not enough, or whatever. Those sit downs are just important sometimes. So don't be negative about it. Just try to figure it out. People seek agreement and validity, so discernment is lost. Yeah. Seeking validation. Yeah, I can absolutely see that. I can absolutely see that. Also, we have to learn how to ask the right questions and how to receive what's being said effectively. Absolutely. That's so important. That is so absolutely important, because I can even speak for myself. Let me put this down for a second. I can speak for myself. Sometimes I call it the spirit of offense. Sometimes the spirit of offense is on 10. So anything that's said, it can be taken like, oh man, what you trying to say? Or, you're not receiving it, like you're closed. You know what I mean? So, you not only have to know how to ask the right questions, it's important to know how to listen to the answers as well, right? Don't just hear them, listen, right? Listen, that's a for real skill. Cree Summer is still very conscious and lives in Canada now. Okay, need to get her on. Oh shoot, that would be a dream. That would be dope. I really like Cree. She is very conscious. I want to say even her, her eating lifestyle. I don't like to say diet, because diet is so low vibrational to me. Eating lifestyle, her lifestyle, all of that. Like, definitely seems, and she's aging beautifully. Is she not? There's alcohol in mine this time. Cheers. Cheers. Yeah, mine is cherry tart juice. And it was cherry tart juice last week too. So yeah, cheers, Derek. Absolutely. All right, boom. Let's see here. Y'all comments is coming in tonight. I really appreciate that. I promise, guest, I'm gonna get to you. Stay there. I figured it was something good for you. Yeah, I try to take it. Listen, I'm trying to stay timeless as long as I can. You hear me? I'm trying to stay timeless. I'm just saying. And I feel better. Like when I eat, most of the time I eat really well. Now, don't get me wrong. I be having them inner greedies. I do. I ain't gonna lie about it. I just believe in moderation and balance. Most of the time I do eat pretty healthy though. She is very much into her Indian heritage. I can see that. I can absolutely see that. Black tea is great for gut, and beet juice is great for recovery and blood flow. Absolutely, it is. That beet, I like beets. Like, I like to put them in my salad. It's so good. Do y'all be putting beets in y'all salad? Do y'all? Coach Boyd, how are you? See, you should be in this room. You should be in this room with me, Coach Boyd, right? How often does someone ask for a situation down when everything is going good? That's true. That's true. How often does someone ask for a situation that's true. That is very true. When things are good, sometimes you could be a little desensitized, like, because it's going so well, and maybe this could plant a seed to actually, even do those check-ins then, you know what I mean? Because sometimes when things are going good, maybe surface level, they going good, but internally sometimes you don't really know what's going on with your partner. Am I lying? You thinking y'all good, and they got all this internal stuff going on, and then the blow up. I'm just, okay, sit down. I got you. Have to listen to that spirit of discernment. Often can tell when folks are bull crapping if you listen to your inner voice. Absolutely. You know something? And I think, because I was actually having this conversation a little while ago, listening to that inner voice, or listen to God God within, listen to God, that inner voice or whatever. And I think that gets stronger when you're able to get quiet, because, the conversation was basically like, man, sometimes I don't feel like I can hear that inner voice. right? And so, I think that's really important to figure out. We know that we should listen to our intuition. We know we should listen to that inner voice. But sometimes that inner voice is clouded or it's not as loud because of everything that's going on. And I'm gonna be real with you. Sometimes I can't hear discernment. Sometimes I don't hear it. Sometimes I don't. And that's one reason why I'm so blessed for, I call them my counsel, and they know who they are. Because when I can't hear my inner voice, when I'm clouded, when I'm distracted, whatever I got going on, when I'm low vibrational, because it happens. I ain't gonna act like I'm high vibrational all the time. I'm pure, not perfect. For real. I'm so grateful for them because they help me to kind of get to that center sometimes where I can activate that inner voice. I'm just saying, when you're 90 you would still look 30 or 20. Listen, that's what I'm aiming for. I'm just saying, because we don't never know what the future gonna bring. You feel me? So hey, listen, I definitely want to maintain it. It's this sister I follow on Instagram. She is 62 years old and she literally looks 30. Her body is a chef's kiss. Beautiful skin, hair. And I had to comment, I'm like 62 where? I know you lying. I'm thinking she AI or something, but she's a real person. And she is literally 62 and looks 30. Her body is amazing. It is absolutely, her face, all that. She got the face and the body. I can't think of her name right now. Had a friend who had a aversion to beats. Oh, okay. I need to try that. Hi, beautiful. Thank you, Dr. Cooper, for joining me. I really appreciate you. Do you know the tribe of your? I don't. Yeah, I do. I was just about to lie. I had to think about that. I was sure about to lie. Pure, not perfect. Yeah, that's it. Pure, not perfect. My intentions is good. If you get a chance to know my heart, whether, friend, family, lover, if you get a chance to know my heart, I'm pure, not perfect. Like, my intentions for you is good. You feel me? But I ain't perfect though. I'm gonna mess up. Now, I ain't saying like, I'm gonna mess up like in a big way, right? I'm not gonna be perfect. But if you got grace and understanding enough for me and patience enough for me, it's worth it. Whether friend, whatever. Just saying. So let's see. I see y'all comments coming in. So I do know my ancestors. I ain't gonna say I know them all. I don't know everything because I ain't do the 21 and me and all that. Like, I got, like my brother did and stuff, but I ain't do it like my other brother. I'll explain that later. Being spiritually led matters, but people are mostly emotionally and ego. That ego. Just was having a conversation about that. Oh, I see, Derek. We here. Right? Yes, that ego is definitely, it is a ladybug flying around in here. I'm sorry. I know y'all like, what's she looking at? No, it's literally a ladybug in here flying around. That's a good omen. But anyway, sometimes people they're led by ego, right? And the goal, I think, in life, one of the goals is to separate yourself from ego, right? That's part of being a higher and better self, when you can separate yourself from ego. Some people, they don't want to do that, right? That's why it's just like, well, I can't even help you there. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't really, like, when I'm in certain discussions with people and I recognize what it is, like, for example, if I'm, about belief systems, I ain't gonna argue with you on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I take full ego out of that. I'm like, hey, yo, I ain't gonna get into that. All right, so let's see here. Hearing from your ancestors. Absolutely. You look like that young lady graded papers with. You still. Oh, I appreciate that. All right, so I do have a guest that wanted to come on, y'all. Like, literally, today's show was just gonna be, pretty general today. Like, I almost didn't come on because I got so much going on, like this, wrapping up the term and all that stuff. But I was like, one of my divine connections was like, you got to get on today. So let's see here. So Mark McDonald, thank you so much for joining me, Mark. I really appreciate you. Keep this great content coming. Absolutely. I appreciate you, Mark. Love and light to you. I appreciate that. All right, so y'all, we're going to go ahead and continue the conversation. I'm going to go ahead and bring on this guest, okay? And just going to kind of get to what we can. Y'all know how the show go, and y'all already know what time I'll be trying to get off by. Somebody gonna put it in the comments, right? It'll make sense here in a minute. So where do I want to go next? we're going to kind of wrap up the couples thing, and then we're just going to kind of vibe about some other things. So let me go ahead and bring Music Man on, coming to the stage.
Hey, Lisa, how you doing? How you doing? Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday, happy Tuesday. Absolutely.
Love and light to you and your audience during this holiday season. I know
Absolutely.
grief is real, but love is greater. So we're
Mm,
going to spread love through this holiday season. So the true
absolutely.
meaning of the season.
Got to. We absolutely have to. Spreading that love. Love conquers all to me,
It
right?
really does.
It really
Truly.
does. I
It
mean,
really does.
just to have that, to practice that, to me, that helps with a lot of negativity when you put that love piece in there.
And you said it right, because love is a practice. I mean, like oftentimes we say the word "I love you," but what comes behind that? What actions are you putting in place to show you love somebody? And
Mhm,
love can be as simple as check-ins, like "I hope you get home safe." Have you ate today? How's your mental? How's your spiritual? Can I pray for you?
mhm.
That's the true meaning of love. It's not about the trinkets and gifts and the tangible things, but the true love is always planted in the intangibles.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Absolutely is. Now, don't get me wrong,
I mean, hey.
sis. I gifts like. Don't get it twisted. You still need to be buying me stuff.
I'm not mad at it. As
No,
a brother.
I'm being funny because
No.
I'm joking, but I'm laughing but kind of serious. But yeah, that's really important. Like those check-ins, like, have you eaten today? Like I know me personally, if I'm like, hey, have you taken your vitamins today? Have you eaten today? Like, how's
Yes.
your mental today? How can I love you better? Like stuff like that for me. And even if I cook for you, you know what I
Oh,
mean? That's a way, and I'm giving out my little secrets. See, I was just telling my boy Clarence last week, don't be giving out my secrets, Clarence.
let's
Don't be
will him
giving
out. This man gonna will him out. What else? What else? What else, Lise? What you
don't
got?
be giving out my secrets. But
I
like
won't
cooking
tell.
for somebody. There's so many small little things. Like,
Yes.
hey, like for me, like I don't mind those texts. Like, hey, saying a prayer for you, or I don't get
Mm,
offended with the happy Tuesday beautiful or the good morning beautiful. That don't bother me. You know what I
yes.
mean? Like whether it's for my friends or whatever, I appreciate that. Like,
And those are much needed, because you just never know what somebody's going through. And when people get quiet, your divine connections will hear that. They'll hear your silence and know that, hey, I need to check in. Because there's something that's missing. And so, reaching out again, those safety check-ins, those prayers, those are truly gifts from God. And that's like God's kiss on the forehead. You know what I mean? So it's a
absolutely.
beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing.
Something I was thinking about, right? It came to me during my quiet because I have these moments where I do my quiet and my gratitude.
Yes.
Was let God love love them through you,
Mm,
right?
yes.
Right,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
And that was so significant to me. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna let God love you through me,
Hmm.
right? Whether it's family, whatever. So that just really came to me when you said that. I had thought about what came to me in my moment of quiet, and to get yourself to that point where that can actually happen. That's pretty powerful, right?
Absolutely. And that's even scriptural. It says, love that God with all our heart and love thyself as you love your neighbor. So
Mhm.
it's a trilogy, right? So the love that's within, whatever you have within will come out. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to have that internal love. And then when you love yourself, when you love God, you just spread love. Even in those moments where you're going through your own ebbs, oh my goodness, when you can spread love in the midst of that, that just knows the beauty of the heart and how God is transformed your heart. So we get so caught up in the physical things. And the brother who has an expensive fragrance collection, I get it, but I also like to spread love and light to my people. So love and light to all my my folks, family, friends, all of y'all. So and I know that this time of year is it's a beautiful time. People get caught up in like, I don't like Christmas, I don't like that, but it's like, because you're looking at it from a different vantage point. When you look at it from the vantage point of, this is the way we should be all year long, there should be a Christmas heart of loving people, of supporting people, of bringing us together. This is what the world needs. We're suffering so much, and when people suffer in silence, and then you have these trigger points because we haven't dealt with the internal things within. And so, like I say, when you have that love for self, love for God, all you can do is spread love and light. And that's what I'm about. That's the energy I'm on. I don't hear you, Lisa. I think you're on mute.
I'm just agreeing, and I'm saying that's the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and you know, it definitely starts with self. It definitely starts with self. You know, I cannot emphasize that enough. That you know, in order to get to that point of loving somebody else, it's important to love yourself. It's important to have those moments with God. God within. Because that's only going to help you to elevate. It's going to help you in your relationships, your family ships, your friendships, or whatever. So
Yeah,
I definitely agree with that. Love through absolutely, love through absolutely,
absolutely.
absolutely,
Yes. And
absolutely.
you know something, Lisa, you made me come to mind that, true love begins whether it's with self, whether it's with others, and whether it's with God. When you go through the ebbs, when you get on the other side, because otherwise it becomes performative, and we can put on these shows and acts and mask, and act like we have love, but we don't really experience, we don't meet love until we go through the hard things, till we address the elephants in the room and say, let's fix this.
You know,
Oftentimes, we like the bubbly, feel good, Hollywood, lifetime TV love, but true love begins when you can get through those moments and say, hey, I know we had our quarrels, but let's
mhm.
fix this. And that's what family, that's what friends, that's what lovers, and that's where the true love begins. It doesn't begin in the warm fuzzies. And so when I talk about spread love through the holiday season and the season of love, it's about getting through those quarrels, because there are some people are harboring things in their heart from, maybe a week ago, maybe a month ago, maybe 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And we're on borrowed time. And if you really truly love somebody, fix it. Just fix it.
That's
Start somewhere. And we need to stop, you know, living from that place of we have to argue, but be an effective communicator, right?
mhm.
So at the end of the day, we have to talk it through and say, hey, you know what? If I love you enough, I love you enough to actually address the elephant in the room, and let's talk this out. Let's fix it. And so fixing is the the catalyst to true love and true commitment and divine connections.
I can appreciate that because, even remember when we had the show about how movies kind of form your ideals, how social
Yes.
media forms your ideals, and then even how some past relationships form
Mm.
your ideals,
Oh,
right?
that's a good one.
Which I mean, you know how I feel about the past, right? To each
Yes.
their own. My thing is I just think it's really important to um, just be able to sort through that. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? Like, the past is not always applicable to, where you are. You know what I mean? So I just think it's just really important to even just be able to, like, I don't know, filter that. Does that make sense?
Yes, absolutely. And you touched on something that when you think about the past, and oftentimes we go through hurt things, we always talk about forgiveness. But if you don't deal with self, you continue to re-give. And what I mean by that, you'll regurgitate those hurt, those pain, that
Mhm.
anguish onto people, and you never get through it, and you
But
create this
you never
perpetual cycle. Yeah,
it'd
you,
be
you
the
create
same
this
cycle.
toxic perpetual cycle.
And that's where I was going with it because I had kind of lost my train of thought for a second. Because listen, you know why? Like, I tried to
you,
breakfast before because it's my whole day, but
you got to get that blood sugar. We got to get
I
that.
got to look 8 o'clock going down. See, I almost lost again. So, basically, you were talking about like how the past or whatever. So that forms our ideals. Like, oh well, this isn't happening, and this isn't happening, and this isn't happening. It's not rainbows and butterflies all the time. So
Mm,
it's a problem when in actuality, for me, I want to know how you move with these challenges. You feel me?
that's
Whether it's
it.
a
And
lover,
that's
whether it's my lover, whether it's my friend, whether it's my family, when these challenges hit, when life happens, when life be life, and I need to know how you going to move. You
and
know what I'm
that's where the
saying?
that's the birthplace of real genuine love. We can talk
That's
about,
where the love starts because
yeah.
one reason why I love the people in my life like I do. One of the many reasons is because when it got rough, when they were at their lowest or I was at my lowest or whatever, maybe I might not have been the most positive. Maybe I wasn't always articulating
And we're
things
human. We're yeah.
or I was being human, right? But it was still that love there. They didn't give up on me, and I didn't give up on them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so for me, when those challenges hit, now the disclaimer is like, don't let me forget that disclaimer.
Okay.
they were still there. It was, let's talk through this. Let's figure this out. Now, let me put this disclaimer there, because everything is not talk outable. I didn't use a $50 word. Everything cannot be worked out. And some things are just toxic, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Absolutely. If it's toxic, if it's going to kill you, you feel me?
Mm,
You gotta move.
please.
You gotta move a little bit different. Like, I'm not saying stay with somebody that's beating you up, women, men, because
Don't
some of
do
these
it.
women out here, they putting their hands on men.
For real.
Okay. So, and I'm not saying to be with somebody that's emotionally abusing you. It just amazes me how quick some people give up, and that's okay, because there could be divine timing. There could be a lot of things involved in that. I'm just saying, for me personally, to go through those challenges, friendship, family, or whatever. And to me, that is where the real love starts. It's easy to love you when it's all good
Roses. Yeah.
and
Like every
rainbows. That's easy. That don't really tell me nothing. That
at
don't
all.
tell me nothing about, can you stand the rain?
My
Can you
jam.
stand the rain? Can
That's it.
you?
And that's real. And that song is such a pivotal song in really understanding, love with God, love with self, love with romantic partners. Is like, can you truly stand the rain? When the stuff gets hard, are you gonna walk away? Are you gonna move different with me? Are you gonna move on? Can we talk it out? Can we address the elephant in the room? Because again, the catalyst of real love is once you get through the ebbs, then you realize, like, oh, I really do love this person through the hard times, through the hardships, through their pain, through the things, that the dark moments in their life, and I'm going to love them, love the hurt away. And that's where you find genuine, true love from family, from friends, from lovers.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, it's a case by case. I would never say all for everyone, because I believe that there are different factors at play. Like, I'm one that believes in divine timing, right? Like,
Of course.
and different things like that. And I also believe that sometimes it's just that your story is done, and it is what it is. Because hey, you learn the lessons that you were supposed to learn and all of that. So hey, you taught what you're supposed to talk, you teach what you were supposed to teach, you learn what you're supposed to learn, and then it's just time to move on. So I don't want to make it like, this is the case for every single situation. I'm not speaking to that.
It's not
Okay.
cookie cutter. Absolutely.
It's absolutely not cookie cutter. I'm just speaking on my appreciation for those individuals that didn't give up on me, that
Yeah.
that just didn't leave me out there hanging, and I didn't leave them out there hanging. And those have turned out to be some of my best family ships, best friendships, because of that. Now, every situation is different, because there is family that I'm like, I ain't
Yeah.
even
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm not even
And
trying with you. And there's friends where I'm like, I'm not even trying with you for a number of reasons. And that can be translated into relationships as well. So I just want to put that out there, because I can see the little DMs now. So what you saying, everybody? No, I'm just speaking that I can appreciate when I am in a family ship, a friendship, or with a lover, if it is that effort that's there to not, like to do the best you can, communicate and all of that, because that's all you can do, right?
yeah,
And sometimes it just turns out like, hey, this is just what it is. So it's
that's all you. That's all you can do, and that's part of the 4 agreements, right? So yeah, absolutely. And you brought up something. We talked about this offline before, but I came up with this concept, the F spectrum, right? The EF spectrum. So it's like every relationship, whether it's with yourself, whether it's with God, whether it's with your friends, with your lovers, there's a spectrum, right? So it's either effort or effort. So it's like you're on that spectrum. It's like what you put in, oftentimes, not always, is what you get out. So if you put effort into relationships, whether it's romantic partners, friendships, your family, you're going to get that out. If you don't, if you recess back, if you fall back and just let the chips fall where they may, that's really holding your hands up and saying effort. You know what I mean? So it's like, put that effort in. What, me going to the gym, I do 2-hour workouts, and some people are like, you crazy, bro. But the reality is that I'm putting in effort because I want results. And that should, and when you do that level of effort, and I'm an extremist to everything, it's like if I'm a love, I'm a love hard. If I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm going hard. If I'm gonna do something, in my life where I'm creating things, I'm gonna go hard with it. But the level of effort that you put in is your true intentions of how you want those things to pan out in relationships, friendships, romantic ships, family.
Absolutely. Power up. I'm cracking up at you. He said, I'll never give up on you. I'm reading your, like I'll be trying to be so serious. And I'll be seeing these comments. You put in the effort. I'm cracking up. Yeah, absolutely. And and another thing that's really important, you should not always expect the you from somebody else. And that's really important to put the forefront as well.
Absolutely.
Because everybody is not going to do you. And that's where your empathy and your grace and your understanding come in, depending on the situation. Like I'm saying, like it's not cookie cutter. You have to do right for what is in that moment in that situation. So I'm not knocking nobody for how they move. You have to take everything as a case by case. So let's
Absolutely.
see. Eric says, I appreciate you, Lisa. You sincerely helped me a lot. You know what I'm talking about. Absolutely. Love and light. See, it's stuff like that. You know what I mean? You never know who you're impacting, with different things. So, just that's why it's important, I think, to do the work as well. And, and just addressing these different areas. I know that we still got to talk about, certain like certain relationships with this show or whatever.
Yes.
We're gonna get to it, even if we got to make this part series.
Oh yeah, I think that's honestly what we should do, because it's an amazing, because love is such a, it's not just a unilateral thing. There's so many layers. It's like a cake, with icing and candles. So, there's so many subjects. And then the season of love, that can go on forever, because we should be loving 365. Love is the answer.
Absolutely. So Lucky says, when it's time to go, it's time. Absolutely, it is. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a case by case. This is truly a case by case. Sometimes it is, whether it's family, friends, a lover, whatever. Sometimes it's just time to peace out. You're like, hey, yo, you again, case by case. So, I'm just saying, again, I'm just speaking from my experiences that, I can appreciate, like when there is effort there, when, or whatever. And it's not necessarily thrown in the towel in some instances, not all, because truly, we've all thrown in the towel at some point, right?
Yeah,
Hence,
absolutely.
so obviously, and I don't, I ain't mad about it. I'm divorced. I threw in the towel. But, I can truly say, for me, even in that situation, I did everything that I knew to do. I didn't necessarily just, give up. I did everything until it was exhausted. And the other party would agree as well that everything was done.
Yep.
So I ain't no hypocrite. I just don't want nobody to think I'm no hypocrite. I'm just being totally honest. I'm just one of those people where, I'm going to do everything that I know to do.
Yep.
And then sometimes it just don't work out. So like, I'm not trying to say stay in nothing beyond divine timing or anything like that. I just want to make that clear.
So what I'm hearing you say, Lisa, is that you put in the effort before you said effort.
Yeah, I had to. Because I'm one of those people. I'm one of those people where, where it's like I can look back and say, you know what? I truly did everything that I knew to do, whether it was with a friend, like, there's a friendship that I can speak of. I did everything that Lisa knew to do, like literally, talking it out, communicating, looking at self, all of that. I did everything that I knew to do. And till this day, that friend that was one of my friends since we was little, like our family and everything was friends, right?
Wow.
But however, I look back on that situation, I don't have no resentment. I don't feel no way. I still want that person to eat. Baby, we just can't eat at the same table, and that's okay. As long as you're still eating, I'm Gucci with that, because I still wish you well. We just, that's like the cranberries touching the sweet potatoes. I just don't want it. You feel me? It's cool for some people, but I don't need it on my plate, and that's okay. And again, that's just coming with what my capacity is, and people have to look at their own capacity. So again, I'm not being a hypocrite with this. It's a case by case. Now, I do see some other comments. I'm willing to do. Shut up, Power Up. I don't even know who you are. Like I seen Power Up on another show. So let's see here. So Holly says, "Hey, beautiful," and I'm going to wrap this up. I appreciate you addressing so many real life issues on your podcast. Being in Indianapolis is not really having a family or friends here from relocating. This helps me personally. Thank you and your guest.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you,
Holly. I appreciate that. Yeah, just planting seeds and putting it on the forefront is just really important. Again, they're because you call me. Say,
Always, always.
Always, yeah, I'm definitely gonna eat, but and that's the thing. So that's just me kind of balancing what I said earlier, because again, I don't want nobody feeling like, oh, yo, you trying to say, no, I'm not trying, I'm not saying anything. You got to do everything for what is in that moment and what is best.
Yes.
That's all you can do. I'm just
And
saying, long suffering is one of the things that, that's just me. It's long suffering with me. So,
yes,
it's just what it is. But
absolutely. Long suffering.
I'm about to wrap this up.
Yeah, and then you have to do the internal work and move with love, move with a pure heart. And when you move with a pure heart, you attract pure hearts. So, you know, it's a blessing to love and be loved. So spread love. That's what this season is about. It's not about the gifts. The best gift is the gift of love and people showing up for you, because that's priceless. Don't worry about what's under the tree, because if you can wrap a heart under the tree, give me that all day. I can buy my own stuff. I'm a grown man, so but give me
Yeah.
love.
And and that is so true, and just even with conversations, that we've had in the past, that we've seen in social media, like, just even this way of thinking and being, like, I want all my relationships to have that. You know what I'm saying? Like my romantic, it gotta be that, because that's one reason why I think it's so, for me, everybody different.
Of
Everybody is
course.
different. You gotta move according to your own rhythm. Me personally, I can appreciate when it's more than just the material. The
Oh my
material should
goodness.
be there.
Absolutely.
It should absolutely
Absolutely.
be there. But what I don't want, if I'm with somebody strictly off of what they can do for me, I'm gonna be that wife on Prozac, unhappy, a desperate housewife, because all I wanted this brother for was his money.
Yeah,
Why
and
he?
crying, and, and you're
It's
gonna
no foundation.
and you're gonna be crying in the Bugatti in the garage.
I mean, I'm a look cute in
You're
my
gonna look cute,
Bugatti. I'm a
but
look cute
you're
in
gonna be
my
miserable. You're gonna
tens.
be
But what
miserable.
does it mean? What does it even mean?
Yeah,
What does it
yeah,
mean? Because that heart is a powerful thing.
it is.
I'd
It
rather
is.
my heart be, I want my heart taken care of. I absolutely want my heart taken care of. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like,
and we deserve that. Yeah,
yeah. And
yeah,
I'm gonna
because
have it. I'm gonna have it.
yeah,
You hear me?
you
Like,
will.
all the desires of my heart is going to be, so that's just that. Again, I ain't knocking nobody. It ain't even about no pick me, no none of that. If
Do
you
you?
want a person because she beautiful, that's all that's required for you, go for it. If you want that man because he makes, 8 figures or whatever, and he do that, and that's all that's required for you, go for that.
Do you,
Okay,
boo? Do you?
do it. I'm just speaking for me. I need more than that. I
Yeah.
absolutely need more than that, because for me, I just don't want to be that person that is
Superficial.
I want that. I want that foundation. I desire that. So that's all I'm
Yeah.
saying with
So you want official love versus superficial love.
that. Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it.
See, say on though. I don't knock it. You gonna look cute in your fur, sis, and
You
you
are.
gonna look cute in your fur, but you gonna be miserable on the inside because you don't even have. You may even be feeling empty, right?
Yeah,
Just saying.
exactly.
It's only. You've even heard people who have the money. This money is cool, but all you can do is get another car, another house, and it really don't even bring happiness, joy, and all that joy and love for me.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
But we'll talk about that on another show. So I'm gonna get you off of
Yes.
here because you already know. You see
I
the time.
know. I
You see
already
the
see. I
time.
see the time. I'm looking at my watch, so
And
I
it's
know what
Taco
time it is.
Tuesday. I saw you. Lucky. He talking about, and it's Taco Tuesday. He right. He
Yeah.
right. So
Taco
I'm
Tuesday.
out of here.
Taco Tuesday popping. Let's go.
All right. Thank you
Hey,
so much, Lisa. I appreciate you.
thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. All right, boom. So I see a few of y'all comments. Oh my goodness. Yeah. And again, to each their own. I don't knock nobody. I'm not knocking y'all for what y'all want. So don't come for me. Do you? Do you? That's all I'm saying. But for me, I need more. So let's see here. You need someone. Hold on. Okay. Absolutely. 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 Derek says, I'm born of abundance and the universe provides all I need. I'm grateful for each day and the life lessons that let me see beyond the superficial. Absolutely. How many cars and planes can you own or houses? Absolutely. Buy power up. Good night. Have a good. I don't even know who that is. I've never. Yeah, I saw you on one episode, but I don't even know. But all right, I appreciate the love. All right, y'all. So we didn't get to the true false game. That's okay. We'll get to it another time. We'll figure it out, because there's also things that I wanted to cover tonight, even more in depth, that we didn't get to, and that's okay. So anyway, I just want to thank you all for pulling up tonight. Y'all know I really, really appreciate you, but I am going to do this affirmation though, because y'all know how I feel about affirmation. So let me go ahead and get to that and close out this show. Let me go ahead and put this in the chat because this was a little shorter tonight. So I should be able to put this one in the chat. Let's see here. I'm cracking up. Y'all comments crack me up. All right, so here is the affirmation. Divine love harmonizes my relationships. Peace and joy surround every gathering. I release tension and welcome divine order. Absolutely. Absolutely. So anyway, I hope that resonates with you. Shout out to my mama. Mama, thank you so much for listening. You know I appreciate you. The Grishams, Lyric, Aunt Anna, my viewers. B, I see you in the studio. Music Man. I really appreciate y'all in the studio. Mark Lee, I see everybody that was even commenting tonight. I appreciate y'all, my family. Y'all know who y'all are. Thank y'all so much. And y'all know I got to do my spiel before I get out of here. Y'all already know. Taco Tuesday. I think I might do a Taco Tuesday tonight. That sounds really, really good. Thanks, Lucky. I appreciate that. So anyway, on YouTube, it's Relationship Soup, period. You got to put the period. You're going to be somewhere else. If you want to follow me, it's RelationshipSoupLLC. Don't forget the website, RelationshipSoup.com. TikTok, RelationshipSoup. IG, RelationshipSoup. And don't forget, y'all, stay alert because I will be putting the information out there about my book as well. Like people are saying, what's up, Mama? Everybody's saying, what's up to you? You know I'm trying to get out of here. So anyway, y'all, it starts with you. Definitely love yourself. And, you know, I just really appreciate all the support every week. It means a lot. So whether you join me in the studio, whether you comment in the feed, whatever, you know, I appreciate you. I love you. And thank you. And until we meet next time, peace.